Mitochondria. What is the big deal anyway? Year after year, the one phrase we may have heard over and over again is the mitochondria being termed as the powerhouse of the cell. But what is the big deal with the mitochondria? It's not like we needed to go to work, to do exercise, or any other day-to-day activities, right? Well, not quite. The mitochondrion, which is singular for mitochondria, is a structure that is present in almost every cell inside our body. With its distinct structure, mitochondria are actually key in carrying out numerous important functions. Some of its well-known functions include cell signaling, in which mitochondria provide a platform where communication between cells can occur. Apoptosis, which is programmed cell death, is required for proper development, for example ensuring that we have 5 distinct fingers. Mitochondria are also shown to have a role in the immune response, by participating in the defense against invading pathogens. Most of all, mitochondria have long been considered crucial for energy production. You see, the mitochondria are responsible for turning the food we eat into energy that our cells need to function and survive. In fact, we simply couldn't live without them. Pretty impressive if I say so myself. So how exactly do the mitochondria produce energy? Well, they do so by producing adenosine triphosphate, or ATP for short, which is basically a fancy name for the form of energy that the cells in our body utilize. In a process known as oxidative phosphorylation, the mitochondria use complex machinery called the electron transport chain and an enzyme called ATP synthase to produce the ATP our cells need. Essentially, the very simplified process of the electron transport chain involves a series of protein and lipid complexes located in the inner mitochondrial membrane. Electrons are passed from complex to complex in a chain of reactions, much like a relay race in which the baton is passed from runner to runner. As electrons pass through the complexes, energy is released, which is used to pump hydrogen ions into the intermembrane space, creating a proton gradient. This proton gradient drives an enzyme called ATP synthase, which acts like a currency exchange store, changing adenosine diphosphate, or ADP for short, into ATP, the energy currency that we want. But why are the mitochondria referred to as powerhouses? Well, much like a powerhouse, the mitochondria provide energy to the organs and tissues in our body. However, sometimes there can be defects in the complex machineries inside of mitochondria, causing a shortage in energy production. This can greatly affect the organs and systems in our body. A prime example of a defect in mitochondria causing serious problems is primary mitochondrial disease, which are a group of diseases that affect energy production. In our bodies, we actually have 2 types of DNA: nuclear DNA, which most people may be familiar with, and mitochondrial DNA, a tiny ring-shaped structure inside mitochondria. Both DNA types contain instructions for making proteins, and about 1,500 proteins are involved in maintaining proper mitochondrial function. Talk about mitochondria being high maintenance. Primary mitochondrial disease is caused when there is a mutation in either the nuclear DNA or mitochondrial DNA. This means that there are serious mistakes in the instruction manual to make mitochondrial proteins. This can lead to the production of defective proteins affecting the proper functioning of the electron transport chain, and mitochondria's ability to generate ATP efficiently. Organs that have high energy demands, such as the brain, muscle, heart, and kidney, can be greatly affected by the energy shortage, as cells cannot function properly and start to die without sufficient energy. Primary mitochondrial disease can affect all ages and vary in the severity of symptoms between affected individuals. Often the disease can be fatal if a lot of the mitochondria in individuals are affected, and at present, unfortunately, there is no cure available for primary mitochondrial disease. However, with ongoing research allowing a better understanding of mitochondrial biology and improved drug design, there is hope for finding a cure to overcome these devastating diseases. So with that all being said, I hope you will be able to appreciate why mitochondria are in fact a big deal.